When I go to the cage, I maul my opponents. All my life, 27-0. People talk about his 6 win streak. What about 27 win streak? 11 years undefeated. And you know I don't underestimate this guy. I know he's tough challenge, but this guy is not in my level.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you that future. That future. That future. That future.
Welcome back to another video here on The Fight Game. Today we're going to be looking at the world of mixed martial arts to preview the highly anticipated showdown between Khabib Nurmagomedov and Dustin Poirier. The fight takes place on September 7th and the location is said to be in the UAE capital of Abu Dhabi. So far this year in The Fight Game, we've seen some great fights, such as Canelo Alvarez vs Daniel Jacobs, Max Holloway vs Frankie Edgar, and Joshua vs Ruiz. The next big fight is Khabib vs Poirier, and fans are excited as the fighters prepare for their showdown. The unification fight for Khabib's championship belt came from Poirier's victory over Max Holloway earlier in April at UFC 236.
And this sets you up for a fight with Khabib Nurmagomedov for the undisputed title. So give us your thoughts on that.
Get your together, young man. We got a belt to fight for.
Poirier earned his title shot the correct way, by winning. He isn't one for trash talk, but he's coming up against a future Hall of Famer, a legend in the making. Khabib can be considered amongst those such as George St. Pierre and Anderson Silva. Sit back and enjoy the video as you are watching a presentation from The Fight Game.
You say you don't want anything, just a little bit of time. Won't ask for anything, just want a little peace of mind. When people look at you, they've all of a sudden got something else to do. Heavy the load, but the hands off you.
Khabib and Poirier are both equal in age at 30 years old, with Khabib sporting an incredible record of 27 wins and 0 losses, and Poirier also sporting an impressive record of 25 wins and 5 losses. Khabib made his UFC debut in 2012, while Poirier made his in 2011. Khabib stands at a height of 5'10", while his opponent stands 1 inch smaller at 5'9". While Khabib has the height advantage, he loses out with Dustin, taking a 2-inch reach advantage. The longer reach will enable Dustin to cancel out the height disadvantage, as well as keeping Khabib out of range with his boxing skills. Khabib vs Poirier will take place at the Arena in Abu Dhabi, and that's particularly special because it means Khabib's father will be in his son's corner for the very first time in his UFC career. Khabib's father was previously unable to attend his son's fights in the USA as he did not hold a visa. Dustin will be looking to dominate stand-up for the entire fight. It's no secret Khabib may be the best grappler the UFC has ever seen, with many thanks to his experience in Sambo from a very young age. All fans have seen the videos of Khabib as a child wrestling with a young bear. His upbringing was harsh, but that instilled respect which is appreciated by his fellow fans and countrymen. There's no doubt Khabib has a unique, rugged toughness about him, which has helped him in past fights endure stand-up as he looked for openings for a takedown. Dustin also has a strong resilience in the octagon. Khabib must remain weary of Dustin's power at all times. Poirier is definitely one of, if not the strongest and toughest opponent Khabib has ever faced. Poirier ended Max Holloway's 17-fight winning streak earlier this year, and before that he defeated Eddie Alvarez in round 2 of their rematch.
What a warrior, Eddie Alvarez. Dustin Poirier finishes the fight.
That is it! Dustin Poirier closes the rivalry!
While ending a 17-fight win streak is certainly imposing, it's nowhere near comparable to the 27-fight win streak of Khabib Nurmagomedov. Each fighter offers a tough test to one another. The fight will no doubt provide excitement for the fans as we're all excited to see Khabib fight actively in the UFC. Khabib can be considered the best grappler in the UFC lightweight division. For those that don't know, the lightweight division in the Ultimate Fighting Championship classifies the weight category of 155 pounds. Khabib currently reigns as the champion, while Dustin holds the interim title. The matchup is a classical grappler versus striker, Khabib being the grappler and Poirier being the striker. However, Khabib's stand-up is not to be overlooked, especially when considering he dropped excellent striker Conor McGregor in their meeting last October with a clean right hand. October 7th of 2018 was the last time we saw Khabib in the octagon, where he submitted Conor McGregor 2 minutes into the 4th round. A brawl entailed after the fight, with Khabib jumping out of the cage to pounce on McGregor's teammate Dylan Dennis.
I don't understand how people can talk about I jump on the cage, you know. What about he talk about my religion, he talk about my country, he talk about my father. He come to Brooklyn and he broke bus, he almost killed couple people. What about this? What about this? Why people talk about I jump over the cage? Why people still talk about this? Like, I don't understand.
In the build-up to the fight, Conor and his team crossed many lines with regards to trash-talking and opponents. The events of UFC 229 was simply the culmination of a very distasteful build-up. The events came with consequences, as Khabib was served a 9-month suspension by the Nevada State Athletic Association, along with a fine of $500,000.
Listen, I've been working hard for 18 years to build this sport. I can promise you this is not what a mixed martial arts event is normally like.
While McGregor remained boastful, Khabib and his father showed class, as Khabib's father forgave McGregor for the controversial comments and even invited him to Russia to train. McGregor is yet to schedule a fight for his return, which is likely to be in 2020, according to Dana White.
He wants to come back, so I mean really what he's doing is looking to see how everything plays out in September. I was just saying out there, as of right now, Khabib and Poirier are fighting. You know how this business works. Anything can happen, and usually does. So I think he's just sort of waiting to see how it all plays out, and does he have an opportunity somewhere to jump in and make something happen.
Fans would love to see McGregor return in a rematch against Khabib to avenge his loss. He's done it before against Nate Diaz, beaten in UFC 196, and then came back in UFC 202 to win in an all-out war. However, with back-to-back losses against Floyd Mayweather and Khabib, some fans have rejoiced in his downfall. Fighters subduing another into retirement with devastating losses is something we've seen many times in the fight game, with Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather sending Oscar De La Hoya into retirement coming to mind.
Was it hard to quit?
Very hard. It actually took a very tough beating to get me out of the sport.
Like Pacquiao?
Manny Pacquiao. I mean, he beat the hell out of me.
This fight's going to probably end up being stopped. Manny Pacquiao is annihilating Oscar De La Hoya. And in the 7th round, De La Hoya has 0 answers for the Pacquiao assault.
No, he cannot do anything. He can't
Pacquiao is making De La Hoya look old, slow, ineffectual.
But I'm glad he did, because it made me retire.
Let us know in the comments what you guys think. Do you think McGregor is finished, or is he yet to return to the top? If a fighter learns most from a fight he has lost, one would ask the question, what can a fighter who has never lost yet to learn? In 27 fights, Khabib has never made a fight-losing mistake. As far as the paper suggests, his performances have been flawless. His quintessential reign of the UFC has been no short of spectacular, as he's simply one of those characters that's earned your attention. September 7th marks a new beginning for Khabib, while it marks an opportunity for Poirier to return his name back to the pinnacle of the sport. You're always guaranteed excitement every time Khabib steps into his 8-sided domain. It will simply come down to 2 of the best fighters in the lightweight division. Will Khabib win as he's done in his last 27 fights, or will Poirier finally be the man to derail the reign of Khabib Nurmagomedov? Find out September 7th live on UFC Pay-Per-View. If you enjoyed the video, consider giving it a like, as it helps us grow the channel, and if you haven't already, subscribe to The Fight Game for future videos like this.